water, earth, fire, air. Welcome to Big Fat Dubs Fight Night in the bracketology. Today's bracket was going to be one of our favorite ones, especially for me. Today we are doing the bracket for the best character from Avatar: The Last Airbender and The Legend of Korra. We're gonna disclose one thing right now. We apologize for the visual and everything like that. It's a little blurry on the first round, so if you guys have trouble with it, please let us know. But we are going to obviously let you guys know who the person is, and we'll do a little explanation on our picks and everything like that.
When I type it into, it'll become probably a little bit clearer. So I really can't blow it up, otherwise it makes more blur. So if you understand that, then that's why. But we're leaving it this way right now, so that way you can hopefully see a little bit. But as you hear who we're talking about, you should know who we're talking about. And like I said, I'll type in the name, and you'll see.
So a little background: if you have never seen the show before, Avatar: Last Airbender and Legend of Korra was a cartoon on Nickelodeon. Though it has anime style, it was actually made in America. It was made in Nickelodeon back in the early 2000s. A very, very, very great show. Both shows. So a little about it is that it takes place in two different times between the two shows. The Avatar: Last Airbender was the first one. The story of Aang, there is four nations. There is the Air Nomads, Water Tribe, Earth Kingdom, and Fire Nation. And there's always one Avatar. The Avatar is a person who can control all four elements and is supposed to bring balance and everything. I'm not going to go into full detail of the show, kind of explain because it could take me forever.
Just go watch it.
Just go watch it.
Just go watch it.
It's on Paramount Plus.
I think it's also still on Netflix.
Yeah, and it's also on Netflix. I recommend it. I watched it all when it came out originally and everything like that. And I've loved it. We actually restarted it. Kelly, was it 2 years ago or last year that we did it?
2
years ago.
3 years ago.
3 years ago. Kelly has never seen the show. And then we got to watch it. And he realized, and it's a show that does start off a little slow. It's definitely that more Nickelodeon cartoon, but
it had the whole build up.
But it builds up correctly in each season between Avatar to the Korra, to the beginning of Avatar to the end of Korra. It just gets better and better and better and better and better. I think there was actually one day we actually watched all of book 3 of Korra in one day. We were so into it that one season that we literally spent a whole day watching the whole season.
Right.
Which is one of my favorite seasons actually, and we'll talk about that character when it comes up. But this show, if you love martial arts and very historical timeline of kind of the olden days of, warriors and stuff like that, this is a show for you. It definitely is a kid show, especially book 1 of Avatar, but it gets better and you get hooked. You start really appreciating the characters. It hits you in the feels. It's funny as hell. Oh, I love this show. It's one of my favorite shows of all time. And I love talking about it with other people. Very exciting. There is going to be a couple new things. Netflix is producing a live Avatar Last Airbender show. The creators of Avatar started their own studio company where they're going to continue the storyline as they're adults. There's going to be movies, a Zuko alone movie, movie potentially about Avatar Kyoshi, and as well as a continuation storyline going to the next Avatar after Korra. I could talk about it all day, but we're going to get started with the bracket here really soon. Kelly, you got anything?
No, I'm excited to do this. We actually kind of restarted watching Avatar.
We did
on the side a little bit
to kind of give us a break from DBZ. Kelly's been watching DBZ from the very beginning, from Dragon Ball. He's gonna do the whole. I did.
I also am doing the movies as well in between on the timeline, even though the movies are not canon. The last movie we actually watched was like the only thing closest to canon, which was the
BoJack Unbound.
BoJack Unbound, which literally took place after Gohan beat Cell. It was like, wow, because all the other ones, like, really, like, stuff has not even happened yet, or So
Yep.
it was like, okay, this is good. But I've been really enjoying that, especially because there's episodes I don't remember or
Yep.
what even some of the fight stuff that happened between like Frieza, Cell, and I'm excited to get to the Boo one because I didn't get to actually see the end of the Boo saga.
Now we gonna cut you off. This ain't about DBZ.
It will be about DBZ eventually, though.
We will find a DBZ one. But now we talk about Avatar: Last Airbender. Go ahead.
I will say this. We're going back to actually. I want to say this real quick. So Ryan, actually, like you said, it is a kid show. I think the Avatar: The Last Airbender show was more for kids. But then when you go to the Legend of Korra, it's actually, I believe, more for the kids that saw the old show but are a bit older now, and I think that's more homage to them. It's a bit more darker. It gets a bit more deeper into the whole bending stuff. I actually enjoy the Legend of Korra more.
Well, like I told Kelly, and I've talked about this with a lot of people, and a lot of people, there's a lot of opinion, and you can have, and you're right to have your own opinion and everything like that. My whole thing is you got to show respect to Korra, the same love you give Avatar: Last Airbender, because it's two different. It is really two different storylines, and one's a little bit more modern day because they have a lot more technology and everything like that, whereas Avatar: Last Airbender is a little bit more past tense and everything. But like I've said before, and Kelly can agree to this, with each book from book 1 of Avatar, book 1 Water, up until book 4 of Korra, which was Balance, I think it was. I can't remember exactly which one it was. What it was called, but we were watching it and everything like that. But the each one, the stories get better. It gets a little bit more heartfelt. Like even towards the end of book 1 of Avatar, it kind of takes a tone change. Book 2 really throws you for a loop. Book 3, my favorite Avatar series, my favorite Avatar: Last Airbender series, hits you in so many fucking feels. And then Korra starts off really hard and then it just gets better and better and better. Love to hear you guys about if you guys are fans of the show and what you guys think and who is your favorite villain, like that. But without further ado, we can talk about this all night and everything like that. But we got work in the morning, so we're gonna keep this rolling. Starting off with round 1. As you can see by the brackets, they're split between one side is Avatar: Last Airbender, the other side is Legend of Korra.
They're not mixed.
So we are going to pick and everything like that, and we're going to a champion of both shows, and then have an overall greatest champion. If we have a tie, we'll go to the wheel on my phone. So without further ado, we have Aang, who is obviously the Avatar, versus the Cabbage Merchant. If you don't know who he is, he's the one who always has his cart in the worst spot, and he goes, "My cabbages!" I'm sorry, Cabbage Merchant. You're a funny ass character, but you know it's gotta be Aang.
Yeah.
Aang really, not only with the show had grown up, but Aang watching him grow from, this 10-year-old boy who, when you first see him come out of the ice and everything like that to where he ends up in book 3, just a great story of his journey and everything like that.
Exactly. Because, you're literally watching, he still wants to be like a kid. He still wants to have fun.
Yeah.
It's like he didn't want this whole responsibility. He just wanted to be a young kid and grow up.
And I'm going to say this one more thing before getting a little off topic. Fuck that M. Night Shyamalan fucking movie. The movie was so terrible. And we're going to say the names how it was pronounced in the goddamn show. Fuck your Ongs. Fuck your Eros. Fuck your Sokas. No. This is how it's done. Next matchup, we have King Boomy versus Long Fang. King Boomy is Aang's longtime friend. He was the king of Umashu, and one of the strongest earthbenders you'll ever see. And Long Fang is the owl from Wang Xingtong's library. Yeah. So, you don't get a whole lot of Long Fang. You don't get a whole lot of Boomy either, but Boomy is funny as hell. And he is a badass.
Yeah, I think Long Fang was only like 2 episodes, I think he was. I know there was the one, but I thought they went back for the showed one where they went back.
In Korra, they went back.
Okay, it was
in Korra, they went back. Jinora went back in there, but we don't get a whole lot of Long Fang.
But this is just on the Avatar side.
But King Boomy, badass man. He's move on to my book.
Yep, I'm going to King Boomy himself.
King Boomy,
especially that episode where
we actually just watched that. Actually watched it. So where they. He put Aang through the loop to get his friends back.
I'm sorry, that just reminded me how funny that dude is.
Especially, too, it's like, oh, it's just rock candy. Fuck off, Boomy. Next matchup, we have our first animal, or we have our second animal character. I guess Longfang was the first one. Versus Avatar Roku. Avatar Roku being Aang's
Ooh.
past life. You know what? This ain't even close for me. This ain't even close. It's motherfucking Appa. Appa was the man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Appa's all through this fucking show. We get, flashbacks of Roku.
We got a few things of Roku and everything like that.
But yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, Appa. That bison went through some shit, carrying 4 people on his back or more.
One episode, the story of Appa when he was captured by the Sandbenders and the hell he went through. Oh my god, that hits you right in the feels. But my favorite scene of Appa, do you remember this? It was right before the invasion episode when Aang was sleep deprived. Him and Momo had that
fight scene. Yes, where they're like dressed as like samurais. Or
one of my favorite Appa moments. Appa moves on.
They're talking.
Yep. Next matchup, we have our first main villain, Azula. She was the daughter of Fire Lord Ozai and the sister of Zuko, versus Master Paku, who is the Northern Water Tribe Master Waterbender, who ends up being Katara's new grandpa. Master Paku is a very good character. I liked him. I liked his change from his old ways to realizing, okay, Katara's are really good. This show plays a lot into, it will be real, old school style, so there is a lot of sexism, in this show. And Paku was one of them, and he learned the humbleness. But Azula was a badass character. She fucking was I feared her more than Ozai. Because Ozai just played the intimidating factor, but he wasn't really good without the comment. Azula damn near killed Aang in book 2. And if she didn't go crazy in book 3, she would have probably ended Zuko right then and there.
Yeah, right.
So my pick is Azula.
Yep, same here. She's kind of hot. Yeah, well. Next
up, we have Mai, who is best friends with Azula up until the Boiling Rock episode. She is also Zuko's girlfriend. If a little bit of flashback of her, she is, she actually is not a bender herself, but she throws knives. Got a killer arm with it too. Versus Smellerbee, one of the freedom fighters from the Earth Kingdom with Jet. I'm gonna go Mai because Smellerbee's
he's very
minor character,
very low Mai, and I was gonna go Mai as well because she plays more of a part in this, especially when she actually ends up turning on Azula later.
Yeah.
Realize what's going on.
Yeah, and going and realizing her loyalty with Zuko and everything like that.
I don't think we even need to discuss who's winning.
All right, so we're going to introduce it. So we have Monkey Yatsu, who was Aang's original. He was pretty much Aang's father. So they never really hinted at it. But Monkey Yatsu was pretty much Aang's best friend / father figure before Aang froze himself. Versus probably my pick to win this whole goddamn thing. And this is fucking Iroh. And again, if you watch the show, and I remember this every time, and Kelly can concur, you cannot do anything but love Iroh. He is wise beyond belief. He is a badass. When he fights, it's awesome.
Yeah.
You realize how good he is. And god damn it, you feel from the Tales of Ba Sing Se episode. It's a good episode, but you get the story of Iroh. He just wants to own his goddamn tea shop and play Pai Shao.
Pai Shao. Drink jasmine tea.
But when he sings the song, so a little story about that is that episode was a tribute to the actual actor who played Iroh. He had passed away, and he had sang a song, and it made you cry. And Iroh is. And like one of the other episodes I loved is one of the moments of Iroh I loved was when Zuko pleaded for him for his forgiveness for what he did, turning on him to go side with Azula and asking for forgiveness. And Iroh just told him, "I was never mad at you. I was just afraid I lost you." And that was such a touching moment. And that's the character Iroh is. Iroh moves on.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Next up, we have Jet versus Hakoda. Jet is the leader of the Freedom Fighters. He was a dual wielding swordsman. He was also kind of a bad guy. He was playing a
He's like kind of the anti-hero kind of
yeah.
guy.
And then Hakoda is, if I'm not mistaken, that should be
Yeah, we didn't look her up.
if I'm not mistaken, Hakoda is Sokka and Katara's dad. I'm gonna look this up real quick. Kelly, if you want to do your
Well, I want to see. I'm actually going to lean with Jet on this one, but Dad.
yep, it's the dad. It's the dad.
Okay.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Jet because Jet played more of a character than Hakoda. Hakoda was not really until book 3.
Yeah, I was. That's what I was thinking because Jet, he's fighting for something. Because he learns out what's going on,
and he has his redeeming factor.
He's kind of playing like the whole Robin Hood kind of thing.
And he also has a redeeming factor in book 2 when he actually sacrifices himself for the everyone to escape and save Appa. So Jet moves on.
Yep.
So next matchup we have Sokka versus Teo. Sokka. Excuse me, Sokko. Sokka, obviously Katara's older brother, warrior prince of the Southern Water Tribe, and one of the funniest fucking characters you'll ever eat. He is not a bender, but he has 2 famous weapons. He has his space sword he gets in book 3 that he makes, but his trusty boomerang. Also a ladies' man too.
He gets some tail.
He gets some tail. Versus Teo, who he was an Earth Nation resident, who unfortunately lost his legs. He was the son of a famous inventor, who he himself becomes an inventor as well. You see him a lot running around in the wheelchair. I'm sorry, you were a good character, but Sokka takes the cake.
Oh yeah, in this matchup, it's Sokka.
Yep. Next matchup, we might have an upset here.
The Boulder.
So we have Katara, probably the most famous of the female characters. Very powerful waterbender who also learns early on the healing factor of waterbending. Also known as one of the best healers in Water Tribe history, and she also learned the bending of blood bending versus one of the funniest damn makeup characters, the Boulder.
The Boulder.
Boulder was introduced the same episode that Toph was introduced, and he was played by Mick Foley. And if you knew wrestling, you know this was a great adaptation of The Rock. The Boulder talked in third person just like The Rock did. Rock is obviously smarter than the Boulder. Boulder kind of played a little stupid. But I'm sorry, I love Katara, but there was a lot of moments that just really annoyed me with her. The Boulder was funny as fuck. My pick's the Boulder.
I'm going with Katara, so we're gonna have to do our first wheel spin.
You can't. It's hard to go because she's one of the main people.
Characters. Yeah,
I gotta show love to the Boulder. So as we can see, there's my name and Kelly's name. So whoever lands on that pick is moving on, and the winner is Katara, rightfully so. Katara moves on.
All right.
All right. Next matchup, we have Princess Yue versus Admiral Zhao. So both characters were represented in book 1. Admiral Zhao is kind of a not really right hand man, but a loyal comrade of Fire Lord Ozai, who kind of set on a journey and went to kind of disrupt Zuko on his journey to capture the Avatar. In doing so, going to the Northern Water Tribe, taking out the spirits of the koi fish, who were kind of the spirit of the Water Nation.
Yang, yeah.
Yep. And Princess Yue she was the princess of the Northern Water Tribe. She was actually born very sick and was actually not supposed to make it. And then she was infused with the spirit of the moon to become and to stay alive. That's why her hair was white and everything like that. She, not to my knowledge, she was actually a waterbender, but she ended up sacrificing herself after Admiral Zhao killed one of the koi fish. She sacrificed herself so that the spirits can live on. She was also, I would say, the second love of Zuko because there was Suki was first. I'm gonna give it to Admiral Zhao because we saw more of Zhao than we did Yue. Yue was only in the last couple episodes.
Yeah, that's true. Obviously, very sad story with her, with like you said, with her sickness and what she had to go
Yeah.
through. Point where she actually had to sacrifice herself. She was in love with Sokka,
Yep.
and she even felt bad about that, and
Yep.
how Sokka felt about her. But yeah, Zhao, kind of our first actually besides Zuko, our first villain that actually really showed what he's willing to do for Firelight and Ozai.
Yep.
To rise in the ranks. So yeah,
And he also kind of worked with Zuko to kind of. You just put Zhao. I just put.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
So Zhao moves on. Next matchup. This is a pretty good one, actually.
This actually is. I was looking ahead of this one. I was like,
we have Momo versus Avatar Kyoshi. Avatar Kyoshi being the one before Roku. Badass Avatar of the Earth Kingdom. Gave no fucks whatsoever. What Momo, man? Come on.
So I think we gotta look at this like the way we did with Appa and Roku. Okay, Momo was in this more.
He was.
Roshi, we just got some backstory on or when even Aang went to the Avatar state to talk to the past avatars. I gotta go with Momo just because that guy, he's through the whole thing.
Oh yeah, it's Momo. It's Momo.
Even though I if we get more, I think you said we're getting a Kyoshi story.
Yes.
Then I think that would come into play later.
That would come into play
if
later.
we have more of her and Roku, more backstory of them, it might be different.
Yep.
But because we only get to see so much just in this show, very little of them in this show. That's why.
One thing I'll say this about with Avatar, with all the avatars, the ones that we've seen. So we saw obviously Aang and Korra's story. We saw quite a bit of Roku in memories and everything like that, and then we see a little bit of Kyoshi. One thing that is appreciated, and Kelly and I talked about this a lot. Each avatar is a different personality, so they're never alike. If you look at all the four of them that were represented, Aang is the most passive one, and it's because he's an airbender, but everybody else, and then it would be Roku followed by Korra, then Kyoshi. Kyoshi was gonna do anything to fucking win. She'll kill, motherfucker. Korra was a little bit that way, but had a little bit of passiveness. Roku was a little bit more stern, but not as aggressive as Korra, and then Aang was a lot more passive. Moving on, we have Suki versus Pandao. Master Pandao was Zuko's swords master. So when Sokka's, excuse me, when Sokka was learning to become a swordsman, because he wanted to do something better than just have a boomerang. They were in the Fire Nation in book three Fire. He learns from a swordsman master, and that's where he finds his sword. Master Pandao is also a member of the White Lotus, which is
secret organization.
Secret organization protecting the Avatar. Members that we've seen originally is Pando, Iroh, Paku, Boomy, and he's not on this list. Damn it, Zhong.
Oh yeah, Zhong's not
on. Zhong. And Suki, she is a member of the Kyoshi Warriors on Kyoshi Island. She is not a earth bender. She is a martial artist and a very good one. Actually, a really big favorite character. I actually really like her. She's
very likable.
She's very likable. She's very sweet, but she can kick your ass in a heartbeat.
Not a bender.
This is kind of a battle between non-benders. And I'm sorry, Pando. I think I would have gone with you originally because I'm a big swordsman person. But we got more Suki, and Suki she had a lot more memorable.
Yeah. Especially becoming Sokka's love interest later on after Princess Uwe.
Watching her in the Boiling Rock episode when she scales the wall and captures the warden and everything like that, badass.
Yeah.
Next matchup, we have Ty Lee, another friend of Azula, another non-bender. She was actually a gymnast, she was a gymnast. Gymnast, excuse me. And she knows how to hit pressure points.
Actually, wasn't she like a circus
It was circus, but she was a gymnast in the circus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Acrobatics.
Acrobatics, yes. Versus Longshot, who is a kind of a silent member of the Freedom Fighters with Jet. We only get a couple episodes of Longshot. Ty Lee plays a big role, and one of her biggest moments is when she turned on Azula in the Boiling Rock episode. Yep. I'm gonna go Ty Lee. She was a lot more lovable. She was funny. And she was that sweet killer that like she's really sweet to you, but then she'll hit you with those points. Next matchup, we have Toph versus Gran Gran. I don't think there's a question on this one. If you've watched the show, you know who the most badass character is. And that's motherfucking Toph.
And she's blind.
And she's blind. She's funnier than hell. Like, one of my favorite lines she did was when they were flying over the sand, over the desert, and they're looking for the library of Wan Ching Tong, and she's like, "Hey, it's right there!" And they all looked and like, "Oh my god!" And they're like, "That's what you'd think if I could actually see." She came up with some bangers, zingers. She was badass. She created, she invented metal bending. Just a badass character. And when she comes back in Korra, funny as hell.
I'm sorry, the guys that came up with her and the person who voice acted her, awesome job. I don't know if the gal that voiced her got to do some of her own creative stuff with her or not, but if she did, awesome fucking job.
So, fun fact about Toph. So, Toph was originally supposed to be a big, burly man. And in the episode before the finale, when they did the play, I can't remember what the name of the play is.
Oh yeah. They did that play.
It's like Emerald Island Players. It's like the Emerald Island Players or something like that. And so they did a play, and they made that kind of joke because they did a play reminiscing the whole show.
The Avatar.
The Avatar Last Airbender show. It was because it was right before the finale, and they actually brought in a big burly man to play Toph. So that was kind of a fun homage there. Toph is one of the most likable characters, probably outside of Iroh and Zuko. Like, one of the best characters ever written. Next matchup, we have Fire Lord Ozai versus Combustion Man.
Yeah.
One guy doesn't even talk.
Yeah, right? Pretty much.
And he has a cool power. So, Combustion Man, he has kind of a third eye, and he shoots firebending out of there. It's kind of an explosion, though. It's not really like firebending, but it's this type of explosion. And Ozai being the main villain throughout the whole series of Avatar Last Airbender, I'm going to go Ozai just because we know more about him. And
I think Combustion Man, we get, 2 episodes pretty much where they introduce him. And
introduce him and then he dies.
And then, he goes out and then,
So, Ozai moves
Ozai with, toward the end there with a fight with Aang, epic fight.
Oh, yeah.
Plus, come on, Mark Hamill voiced the guy.
Oh, yeah.
So,
and also, too, like, seeing the whole backstory of, like, you saw a true villain, is the way, like, honestly, like, how he, was going to kill Zuko, how he banished him. That's a really fun story. That's a really interesting story. Not really fun, but it's a really intense story when you figure out the whole story of why Zuko's mom left and the whole story about Ozai becoming king or Fire Lord. It's really intense, and that kind of brings him up because it's just like, he did what? Fuck. Speaking of Zuko, last matchup in the first round of the Avatar Last Airbender series, we have Zuko himself versus Haru. Haru is an earth bender who lived in a village where earthbending was illegal.
Because of the Fire Nation.
Because of the Fire Nation, and was wanting to get with his dad. He also had a big crush on Katara. Same with Jet. Same with Zuko. Same with Aang. Versus Zuko, who starts off as, you think he's the main villain, but has the best storyline, turns it around, and becomes a hero. Eventually, Fire Lord, and fights with Aang, and realizes that he needs to help him and everything like that. Which technically they are kind of related because Aang is also Avatar Roku, and Zuko is the descendant of Avatar Roku.
Yeah,
I'm going Zuko.
Yeah,
Zuko's the best.
Haru, he's only in it for. Does he come back later? I forget.
Yes, he does come back in the invasion.
Yeah, he comes back in the invasion, but we only see him Kind of like, yeah, we're at that point right now with Haru. Like you said,
We're actually on that episode
right
now.
now where yeah, he just got taken and they got to go save him.
And that's one of the dumbest things.
And then,
so I'm going to say this right now. This was one of the dumbest things about the Avatar: Airbender movie. Not only that, but they were so in the show they were captured on the boat, which there was coal and everything like that. But in the movie, they were captured in a mountain, and you sat there and you're like, "Wait a second, why the fuck are you guys not fighting? You have Earth all around you." Even Aang said that in the movie. He's like, "There's Earth all around you," and it's like,
yeah, "Oh yeah,
no shit." But again, in the movie, they take fucking 20 minutes because they're all like, "Whoa, whoa." The stupidest thing is watching 7 Earthbenders do a march and arm movement, and a pebble flies by. One pebble. One. Of the whole Earth. You throw a rock.
But it's a rock.
Fuck it. Alright, next up we're going to Legend of Korra now. We're going to start off with Asami Sato versus Wu. Wu is the future Earth King of the Earth Kingdom after his bitch of a grandmother or aunt fucking dies.
I actually want to point out one thing before we actually move on. Overall, on just the last Airbender side, we agreed on everything. We only had to do the wheel once.
Yep.
I think that's actually a first.
And that was just because the Boulder's a funny ass character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, yep.
So we have Asami versus Wu. Wu was an annoying ass character. Asami was a badass. She was not a bender. She was the daughter of inventor who became taking over the company, inventing stuff herself. A lot of great moments. She also is the love interest of Mako, which Korra was as well, but ended up being a plot twist because one of the first times you ever see this in Nickelodeon in the cartoon, she becomes the love interest of Korra, kind of being the first openly LGBTQ
yeah, I guess
couple.
How you put it, yeah.
So Asami takes it because there was more story to her and she was so awesome.
Like I said, Wu, you know him, buddy.
Yeah,
just.
All right, so we have Su Beifong versus Kaya. Su Beifong is one of Toph's daughters. It was the youngest daughter of. I can't remember if she was older or younger than Lin. I gotta look that up later. But Su Beifong kind of was the rebellious child of.
I'm actually pretty sure Su was actually the young.
I think she was the young one.
Anyway,
Su Beifong and was kind of the rebellious child. Always got in trouble, everything like that. She ended up leaving home to kind of have her own adventure. She marries Batar, and they actually build a metal bending community and castle, pretty much, where everyone metal bends and like that, and is kind of the ruler of that. Very cool development. There was a great storyline between Sue, Toph, and Lin, kind of bringing together, and Sue and Lin having their issues and working together. I'm gonna go with Kaya. A little bit about her. She is the daughter of Aang and Katara. Spoiler alert: they get together.
Yeah, right.
And she is a waterbender, named after her grandmother, who is actually Katara's mom, who actually passed away. The middle child, God, I just remember this one part. She was also the lookout for the oldest brother, Boomy.
Yep.
So a little backstory on this, you guys. So Aang and Katara had 3 kids. It was Boomy, Kaya, and Tenzin. And Kaya and Tenzin were benders from birth. Tenzin being an airbender and Kaya being a waterbender. Now, a little story, the reminisce. Aang was the last airbender. His nation was wiped out 100 years ago by the Fire Nation. When Tenzin was born, Aang put a lot of love and support to Tenzin because it's kind of rebuilding the Air Nation. Boomy was not a bender at birth. Boomy was kind of left out of the blink, and Kaya was there to support. Even though she was younger, sometimes younger siblings can be more supports to older kids and everything like that. So, really, really tragic story that you think about. not saying that Aang was a bad dad, but he lost his people. He's the only Airbender, and then he has a kid who becomes one. So he kind of, he does unfortunately put a lot of focus on that, and Bumi and Kai get left behind. It's a great. Again, this is why I say you gotta watch this damn show. It's fucking emotional.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with Kaya because I love the story of like her being the centerpiece and of the kids and what she did and kind of like being that supporting factor to Boomy and kind of showing Tenzin that it's like, listen, like you didn't see what we went through, and a badass waterbender in herself. It's hard because I could go either way, but I'm gonna go Kaya.
I'm actually gonna go. I'm gonna go Suin.
Okay.
Mostly because it takes a lot for somebody to stand up and believe in something. That's what Suin did. She broke away from Republic City
Oh yeah.
because she didn't believe in what was going on. Not that she, not because of her parents, or her mom, Toph, or her sister, if I remember exactly, but she didn't like the way it went, the way things were getting treated. So she went off and did her own. So I'm actually going with her.
I mean, she also it was also a good storyline too because she's the daughter of Toph, who was the police chief.
Yeah, you got two daughters going at it.
Yeah, you literally have the daughter of Aang and the guitar versus the daughter of
second
Toph.
second child.
Yeah, who actually there's rumor Landon Suk and dad might be Sokka.
It's the boulder.
We are spinning. Su Beifong moves on. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I think either one would have been great, but I think if we got more backstory like with Kaya, I think that'd be great. Hopefully we actually get to see that. Maybe we even get to see the birthday in the continued episodes.
Yep. Next matchup we have Unalaq versus Gazan. Two villains here. Unalaq is actually the villain of season 2. He is the uncle of Korra, who actually his purpose is for Korra to open up the spirit worlds to eventually. This was actually a really cool season. To release I guess you would say the bad avatar,
evil avatar,
the evil avatar.
Yeah.
Rava was the good one. I gotta remember the bad one. But anyways, Gaza was a lava bender part of the Red Lotus group. So the Red Lotus group, we'll talk about the characters. Was led by Zahir. There was Gaza. There was a few other characters. We'll get to them as we go along. I'm not gonna look for their names right now. But their whole purpose was to actually to kill the Avatar. They were actually sent out to originally kill Korra when she was a baby. A lot of this show is actually more about balance and separatists and everything like that. And I'm sorry to Gonzan. You were the first introduction of lava bending, really badass bending, but Unalaq was the villain of the fucking second book.
Oh yeah,
like you weren't even the main villain of your own book. And Unalaq was such a badass character, and he really played as you kind of thought he was the bad guy at first, but then it's like, okay, maybe not.
Oh, that right.
Unalaq.
I know, but it's kind of blurred, so that's why I was. That's a Q, by the way, at the end.
Is it? Actually, you know what? I have it.
Looks like a Q to me. Sorry, you guys. This is like we were saying. We could hardly read with what we have it.
Yeah.
But I just want to double check here.
It's Unalaqu.
Doesn't look like.
They probably didn't spell it right.
You what?
UNA. LAQ.
I mean, I maybe kind of see it, but anyway.
All right, next matchup we have Zahir, main villain of Book 3 of Korra.
Against Ikki
versus Ikki, the second daughter, second child, the middle child of Tenzin. I'm sorry, Ikki, you are a funny character. Yeah. Zahir was one of the best fucking villains. It's Zahir.
I don't want to look at that because I can't see that. It looks like an N.
No, it's ZA.
It is ZA?
Yeah, because it's Zahir.
Yeah,
it's hard. It's obviously hard for us because we can barely see it. It's very blurry. Zahir. Oh my. So at the end of book 2, after Korra balances everything out between the spirit world and the normal world, the people started becoming airbenders again. Zahir is one of them. And so the big thing about Zahir was he did some fucking shit. Zahir actually learned the he actually was able to kind of learn the ways of getting into the spirit world. He also learned the sub bending of flight,
So
becoming air himself.
I thought he actually had no bending, but
He did. He had no bending.
But because of his time in prison, him studying somehow on his own, he somehow.
So he gained it. He was one of those people that gained the air bending through the convergence for the emergence. Yeah. So when that happened, he gained it, but he studied it. He studied all the ways of all the nations. And then he was a very spiritual villain who, think of Thanos. He was more about wanting balance, but did it in an evil way. He almost killed Korra. He was actually the closest one to actually kill her. And God, one of the best villains. And his action actually led the show to be taken off the air to be strictly put online for everyone to watch. He on the show actually killed the Earth Queen in a gruesome way. It wasn't even just a death. It was spoiler for this. He actually created an air bubble around her face and was sucking the oxygen out of her body, suffocating her. This dude was a badass. So here moves on.
Oh yeah. Sorry, Icky.
Icky, you're a great character. Next up, we have our first animal character. We have Pabu. Motherfucking Pabu, the fire ferret of Bolin, Team Avatar. Versus Tarlok, who is brother of another villain we'll see later on, of Amon. Tarlok's a really good character, but I'm going motherfucking Pabu.
I'm going Tarlok.
Okay. Explanation why?
Badass.
Okay.
He was the one that did the bloodbending, right?
Yes, he was a he was the bloodbender.
He was a bloodbender as well,
mm-hmm.
And he was the one. Oh, and that one. Wasn't he the one in the library that?
Yes.
Or in his study. I'm sorry, that one. Was doing that to Korra.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we have one vote for Pabu, one vote for Tarlok.
That's the one series I want to really rewatch again.
Yeah. Tarlok moves on. Pabu.
Lock? Oh, okay.
I think it's L-O-K. Let's look.
Yeah. Can't tell if it's no or nay.
Yeah, it's Tarrlok.
Okay.
Next up, we have...
I don't think it's a discussion.
Nope, it is not a discussion. We have Tenzin, son of Aang and Katara, and airbending master, voiced by the amazing J.K. Simmons, versus Dasan, who is a character of the... I believe she is the character of the Red Lotus tribe who actually does not have arms. She uses water for her arms.
I thought you said that was the other the twin.
Oh no, excuse me. Right, that is one of the twins of that is one of the kids of Unalaq that we see in book. There's no discussion. Tenzin was a badass, and I mean he's voiced by J.K. Simmons, J. Jordan Jameson, right there, wins it right there. But he's very wise, like his father, and everything like that. But what he did for his action as an airbender, that's one thing I'm excited for. Is we get adult Aang, we see a lot more badass airbending.
Yeah, right.
All right, next matchup we have two inventors. We have Varric versus Mr. Sato.
Orochi Sato.
Varric, we see in books 2 through on. Kind of a salesman and inventor,
and has one of the best lines.
That has one of the coolest lines. It's the most memorable one. Julie, do the thing. Versus Hiroshi Sato, who we see in book 1, we see him later on in the series as well. He is the father of Asami, who's working with Amon, actually providing him with all the technology and everything like that. Varric also is helping Team Avatar. Kind of seemed a little bit of a villainous at first, but then he grew to love Bolin and was a director. He was an entrepreneur. He did a lot of things.
Right.
I'm gonna give it to Varric because he was a lot more memorable.
I enjoyed him way more.
Oh, he was. There was a great redeeming story for Mr. Sato, coming back and sacrificing himself to save Asami. But Varric was funny.
Right.
Next matchup, we don't even have to discuss it. We have Bolin versus Patar Jr. Patar Jr. is the eldest son of Su Beifong, who ends up marrying one of the villains later on. Not a memorable character, except for in that last book. And we have Bolin, who's a fucking badass. He is the brother of Mako. He's one of the original members of Team Korra. Team Korra's Avatar team. He is an earthbender, and he also developed into lava bending. He is the owner of Pabu. Pabu. Fucking Bolin was funny. Fucking Bolin was our Toph. Bolin was funny. Toph was more badass than Bolin. But come on, he was so funny. He was a movie star, becoming Nuktuk.
I was gonna say come Nuktuk.
Bolin is so fucking funny.
Bolin.
Next matchup, we have the main person of the second series. We have Avatar Korra versus Zhu, who is the.
That's actually how they spell her name.
Yep. And it's Zhu. Yep.
Julie, not
Julie.
Not Julie.
Yeah, it was Julie. Julie, you're awesome character. Your dynamic with Varric is funny, but how can you not pick the person the show's fucking about?
Right.
And
especially with everything that Korra goes through.
I will say this, not only because does she win on kind of the technicality, but she actually might be a better Avatar than Aang, because Aang was all balanced, but what Korra did, book 2, she lost everybody, she lost all the connection, and so she pretty much restarted the whole Avatar cycle. And then learning spirit bending, becoming this really awesome character who developed in such an amazing character, going from I'm gonna fight everybody to, hey, no, I gotta actually learn to be a great Avatar. I actually have to learn to be a true Avatar. Korra wins.
Yeah, I agree. Still, Julie,
do the thing. Next matchup we have Opal versus Boomy. You want to talk on this one real quick?
So obviously we were talking about earlier, Aang charged 3 kids, Boomy being the first one, non-bender, but he becomes the naval general.
He becomes a member of the Fire,
or is he the Fire Nation general?
He's a Fire Nation general.
He's a commander of one.
Commander or something like
that. Captain, commander, one of those. And Opal, I was trying to remember what you were saying. She is
the daughter of Su Beifong, who actually develops into being, and she actually becomes an airbender herself. She is not an earthbender. She actually becomes an airbender and is trained under the watchful eye of Tenzin and everything like that. Who also then becomes Bolin's girlfriend.
That's right. If I remember, yeah, because they go to the city and they kind of start teaching her. Yeah, because pretty much Sue had kind of forbid it, if I remember.
No,
I thought she didn't want her trained or something like that.
I think it's because she was hiding the fact that she was an airbender from her mom.
Remember exactly.
I think the thing is about that city. It was a very protective city in that Sue wanted everyone to stay put because it was out of everyone's way and no one was going to mess with it. It was kind of they were trying to keep peace.
Yeah.
This one's tough.
I'm going with Boomy. I'm sorry. That guy was funny.
I'm going to go with Boomy as well.
I'm sorry.
We talked about the storyline that you heard of Boomy, and then he becomes an airbender and it just becomes a badass. Boomy takes it.
I mean, I'm sorry. The guy is still fucking funny as shit in that as well. And the emotion that he goes through, especially with his brother and sister, and all that, the guy had a rough. And then he finally ends up getting his powers.
Yep. Go ahead and start the next one.
Next up, we have Colvera versus was it Ming Hun or
Ming Hui.
Ming Wei?
Ming Hui. She is the. This is the one that is the waterbender with no arms.
Okay, so we have Colvera, who ends up actually breaking is actually the right hand. I guess say right hand woman to Sue, if I remember correctly,
Yep.
General. But then she ends up breaking away from them and creating her own community that go against everybody. I can't remember the whole reason why her, but I guess it's because
So Kovira created, I think they called it the Earth Empire or something like that. What she was doing was
she didn't like the actual like Earth Kingdom.
She didn't want the balance. She wanted Earth Kingdom to be that powerful. She pretty much
really like reuniting like the Fire Nation thing.
She pretty much did. She pretty much started. She tried to start the 100-Year War because the Earth Kingdom is obviously the biggest piece of land out there, and
piece of land.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, because remember the maps really.
I'm just saying, land.
Yeah. But so Kovira tried to lead the. I want to say it's Earth Empire. I could be wrong. It's something Earth. But what she did is that she was the commander in Sue's army. Breaks away. She ends up marrying Patar Jr. And
it's funny because it was just like all of a sudden because she was very helpful and everything, and when they were doing the fight in that other one and all that, because and all of a sudden she's out of there. She's like she can't stand.
Well, there was years apart because at the end of book 3 of Korra, she almost dies. She becomes very vulnerable from Zahir, feels very weak. Korra lost herself and disappears. So it was quite some time actually. And then Kovira kind of started her reign and everything like that. Not the greatest villain of the Korra series.
Yeah.
It's honestly, I think the worst part for Kovira is that you were the one behind Zahir.
Yeah. As we've talked many a times, we've said like we thought Kovira should have been like the first or second villain. Felt like her being the last villain was kind of a degrade in a way.
The story itself was good because it was kind of that we're going back to kind of one nation trying to rule all, and kind of like pushing Korra to that brink. But if we had to pick villain wise, Kovira should have been one of the first two, and Zahir should have been the last one because what Zahir did was
Zero Ramon for me. Like I've said many times, should have been one of the last two.
Yeah,
or one of the last one.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I'm gonna go with Kovira because we have more memorable things with her than Ming.
Yeah, because Ming's just around for just the front for
Zahir. Next up, we have the first villain of Legend of Korra, Amon, who was at first.
He's a real badass.
He's a badass. He at first was looked at as someone with no bending powers and he found ways to take someone's bending away. Ends up finding out he is a son of a former water tribe crime lord who develops bloodbending, and that's how he's able to block everyone's bending away. Is he bloodbended that passage? Versus Milo, who is the first son of Tenzin. Funny character. One of the funniest moments is when they're fighting on Air Nation Island, and he goes and farts in the guy's face. It's one of the He's also a cocky little shithead, as you see in book 4. I'm sorry, Milo. You don't stand a chance against Amon.
No.
Amon was that badass of a character.
Yeah, I'm into it. Great, funny little character.
Actually, I think Amon is your favorite villain, you said. I think you said that Amon was your favorite villain.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it pretty much went Amon, Zahir.
Azula.
I mean, that's for that side, but...
I'm saying all in general.
Yeah.
Because you kind of have to.
Yeah, I mean the way he set the tone for actually the whole series in that first one.
That's why I liked
how dark it was.
That's why I liked him being the first one because it kind of gave you that. It set you up really well.
Yeah, I was totally shocked. Like, oh shit, we're going like extreme, like right away.
Yeah.
Because you gotta remember again, over in Last Airbender, we didn't get a lot of the subclasses. Well, now in Legend of Korra, you're getting, like you said, the subclasses. We're getting the spirit, we're getting the blood bending. You know, we even see sand bending. You know, we see all the other stuff.
Yeah, we get a little bit of that in Avatar's Airbender. We do see some sand bending, swamp bending. One of the biggest ones was actually lightning bending. Developed in the Fire Nation and everything like that. And there was of the 4 main firebenders that we have seen, Ozai, Azula, Iroh, and Zuko, 3 of them actually bend lightning. The other and Zuko can actually redirect it. That's the only thing. Amon really, in Korra they really introduced that more because obviously we were introduced to some of them, but then it became more of this is a common thing. We're now seeing more firebenders do lightning bending. We're seeing Earth Kingdom that actually can do, we're introduced to lava bending.
More metal bending, more, what was their other one? Metals. Well, I don't think we see much sand.
Sand was more introduced in...
No, wait, Earth has the lava bending.
Earth is technically lava bending, but you have to be a descendant of a firebender and an earthbender,
one of those makes you...
Which Bolin actually is, because his brother Mako is a firebender. Bolin, I think his mom was a firebender and his dad was an earthbender, or vice versa, one of the two. Anyways, sandbending was more introduced in in Avatar Sandbender. There was that whole sandbending, sandbenders and everything like that. It took Appa. But Amon is a badass character.
Yeah.
Moving on, we have Naga, who is Korra's big ass fucking dog.
Polar bear / dog.
Yep. Versus Peli, who is Combustion Lady.
Combustion Woman.
Who is the love interest for Zahir. Firebender has the same abilities as Combustion Man. Third eye, boom, explosion. I'm sorry, it's
Naga.
It's Naga.
It's Naga.
It's Naga.
Loyal dog. I mean,
got loyal freaking dog.
Powerful as hell because you got the polar bear
Yep.
strength, but still Naga.
Yep.
Probably you're not in it as much, and you're very.
Yep.
Yeah.
Next matchup, we have Lin Beifong versus Eska. Eska is the daughter of Unalaq, who is also the quote-unquote fiance to Bolin by force. Scary ass bitch, but Lin Beifong was a badass. She is Toph's oldest daughter, becomes the chief of police and everything like that. Has a lot of great moments. She was the first love interest of Tenzin. I don't think there's a question.
Lin.
It's got to be Lin.
It's got to be Lin.
Her story was so much better.
I think she shows way more, and she has more emotion than anybody. Because I think she took it harder with her mom than Sue did, from what it seemed like.
Yep.
Like, she felt like she had such a more responsibility, and
especially
after the whole breakup that they had and the fighting that they had.
Yep.
So, Lynn's story is great.
She is a wonderful character. Next matchup, we have Jinora, the eldest daughter of Tenzin, and actually one of the youngest actual air masters.
She airbending, so
yep. Versus President Raikou. I'm sorry, Jinora takes it. President Raikou was nothing.
Yeah, right.
Jinora takes it. I mean,
just
for her to become the youngest one to have such big roles throughout the whole show, Jinora takes it.
J.H. Oren?
Jinora. I think it's J.I.
Oh yeah, actually.
Yeah, it's Jinor. All right, next matchup, in the final matchup of the first round, we have Mako versus General Iroh. Mako is the firebender that we meet. He's kind of the one that people think that he is the main love interest for Korra. He's drawn as the pretty boy, the kind of the bad boy. He has that very bad boy-esque. He's brothers to Bolin versus General Iroh, who is the grandson of Zuko. who was named after the great Iroh himself. I'm gonna say this, and you'll probably go against me on this. I hated Mako.
Oh yeah, he was Dick.
I'm going with General Iroh because it was a great homage to both the character and Dante Bosco, who actually came back, who was actually the voice of Zuko, came back to play General Iroh.
I remember that. You were like, wait for it. Wait for it.
So General Iroh, you're moving on for me.
Yeah, Mako, you're a dick.
You were a dick. You were a dick to your brother. You were a dick to Korra, to Asami. You cheated on both of them. Fuck yourself.
All right, that finishes that side, everybody.
All right, now we're going on to the second round. We have Aang versus King Boomy.
I love King Boomy, man. I kind of gotta go with King Boomy.
I gotta go with Aang. I gotta show love to the main guy. Are we going on?
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
There's nothing wrong with this pick because obviously King Boomy is.
I'm sorry. Like I said, after I watched that episode again, I'm like, I forgot how funny this guy is, and I know episodes later when you see him come back,
he gets
captured and then breaks out. And
so I'm going for Aang. Kelly is going for King Boomy. Aang moves on. Avatar Aang.
I mean, it should be rightfully so.
Boomy, I love you to death, though, my man.
Hit the caps one. All right.
Next matchup, we have Appa versus Azula.
Ooh.
I love Appa. Do not get me wrong. I love my Appas. I'm going to go Azula, though, because she was the most badass villain of all the villains we've seen in Avatar Last Airbender. She was more threatening than their own fucking father. Oh, yeah. I'm going to go Azula because we saw just the cruelty, the pure evil, and then the unfortunate, like, she went crazy. She was such a badass character. I'm sorry, Appa. I love you to death, my man.
Yep.
We're not even going to talk about this one. You're a great character. You got great moments. How are we not picking Iroh? Anyone that does not pick Iroh should be slapped. Next matchup, we have Jet versus Sokka. I don't think there's a question mark. It's Sokka.
Yeah, I mean, Jet, you were just a minor character anyways.
Yep. But Sokka's the man.
Try to get with Katara.
Sokka's the man. Boomerang!
Sokka got way more tail.
Yep. Next matchup, we have Katara versus Admiral Zhao. I think this is easy. Katara.
Yeah. Zhao, Katara, we get to see her grow up a bit more later on, learn bloodbending.
I love in the Emerald Island players. They make fun of the fact like, oh, all of hope is lost. I love that. That was the whole first thing with Katara. Momo versus Suki.
I'm going Suki.
I'm going. Thank you. I wanted to go Suki. I thought you were going to go Momo.
No.
Suki, man. Suki takes
Momo is just that little animal that you have there that's kind of funny at times. It also helps out a little bit, but Suki
played more of a big role. Suki takes it.
Especially, she got captured, right?
She did get captured and was taken to the Bowling Rock.
Yeah, she was taken to the Bowling Rock, and you can see there how much she shows how much that she's failed and all that. And then Sokka, doing everything he can to get her back.
You guys show love to the non-benders in this show.
Yeah,
like the non-benders played such a big role that you always want. It's kind of like in Star Wars, people growing up, you always want to be a Jedi. Oh, you got a lightsaber, you got the Force. And it's like no, you
got Han Solo. He's
a badass. A Mandalorian,
you got R2-D2. He's a fucking droid.
The Mandalorian characters. You have
Din.
You have the actual clone troopers. Like not a stormtrooper. They can't hit worth of shit. But
the clone troopers.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
the stormtroopers can hit worth shit.
Rex, and you got the Bad Batch guys now. Commander Cody and all that.
So next matchup we have Ty Lee versus Toph. Ty Lee, I'm sorry, Toph takes it.
Oh yeah,
Toph fucking takes it. Next matchup, we ain't even going to talk about this one. Ozai, go fuck yourself. Mark Hamill, I love you. Mark Hamill, you're an amazing actor, amazing voice actor. You voiced the fucking Joker first and foremost. But Zuko had the best fucking story arc. Zuko moves on.
Yep, I am in agreement with that 100%.
All right, we're going back to Korra now. As you can guys tell, this is gonna be a little bit faster because we've already kind of explained everything.
Yeah,
so
we've already explained how.
So we'll probably explain a little bit here and there. We have Asami versus Suin. Asami.
Yep. Thank you.
Asami takes it.
I was like, I wonder if he's actually going to sue with this one.
I'm going to go Asami. She was such a better character.
Oh, yeah. She was a great character.
She was. And said such a story and everything like that. This next matchup, we have Unalaq versus Ahir. Ooh. Shut the fuck up, Unalaq. You ain't even got a chance. Ooh. You ain't even got a chance. You didn't even stand a chance.
Thank you.
You don't even stand a chance, Unalaq. And Ahir takes it. Next matchup, we have Tarlok versus Tenzin. I'm going Tenzin.
Oh yeah, yeah.
A badass. One of the best fight scenes of Tenzin actually is when he fights Zahir. You have two airbenders who have really developed and mastered the arts. Oh my god, it is fucking badass.
It really is badass.
Because you think about when Aang did airbending, it was more powerful blows. Where Tenzin and Zahir knew how to actually make it so it's more sharp. Like, badass.
Well, you're also getting Tenzin, who's an older bender as well.
Yeah, so he's mastered.
He's mastered it.
Next matchup, we have Varric versus his protege, Bolin himself, Bolin. I'm sorry, Varric. You were going cool for one line. Bolin moves on. Bolin is badass.
I mean, as much as I like Varric, I want to pick him really bad, but you got to give it to Bolin.
One thing about Bolin that I really loved was that he became in Avatar: The Airbender. You start to love. You loved Aang, you loved Toph, you loved all these characters, right? In Korra, you had your issues with a lot of them, but Bolin, you could not find a damn thing wrong with Bolin.
No.
He was the most lovable character ever. Next matchup, we have Korra versus Boomy. Korra.
Yeah, unfortunately, it has to be.
Yes, she's the main protagonist, but Boomy, there wasn't enough to
we don't get Boomy until the third book?
We get him at the end of the first book. Literally at the very last episode.
Yeah, we get him only a few episodes.
And then we get him in the second book. We actually get him the rest of the series. We get him book 2 and 3. And then he kind of falls off on book 4 because he's just part of the, he's part of the Air Nation police force or whatever the fuck they were, the fucking Avengers of the Air Nation or some shit like that. Next matchup, we have Kuvira versus Amon. Kuvira,
no question.
We've already talked about this. You are a good villain, but Amon is a great villain.
There's good, and then there's great.
Kuvira, good fight. Amon, moving on. Next matchup, we have Naga versus Lin Beifong. I think this one's pretty easy.
Lin.
Naga. The story.
I'm sorry. And as you can see, the animals are not making it that far.
The animals play a good role.
They do play a good role. They're always, they're the comfort to, to the people, their owners or whatever. But
I'll ask you this: of all the animals we got, and here's my pick for the best animal character, motherfucking Appa.
Yeah.
Motherfucking Appa.
Yeah.
Appa would have been the only one that could make it far. Because Appa was the best animal character.
Yeah, if you were to go through with all this with, Appa, Momo, Pablo, Naga.
Longfang and stuff like that. No, it's fucking Appa. Fuck all y'all with your shit. It's Appa. Next matchup, we have Jinora versus General Iroh. General Iroh, love you as a character and everything like that. Jinora moves on because of her development, being the youngest airbender, become an air master. Okay. You fucking deserve it, Jinora.
Yeah. Plus, Iroh, you don't come in until the end of 3.
He's in the end of 1. He's in the end of 1 because he comes in and helps fight the Separatist army.
Yeah.
We literally get small episodes of him. It's nothing.
I thought he was only that one big fight though.
He comes in book 4 as well.
We're gonna be watching it again here, so I'll remember it.
Yep. Next matchup. Ooh. I'm gonna say it right now. I'm gonna break some heads. Next matchup, we have Aang and Azula. Give me Azula.
Thank you.
Azula is the better character.
Yes.
Aang had... The thing about Aang is this. At the end of the story, Aang, I'm sorry, but I loved Zuko more. And I'm not really sorry about that because there was character development. you kind of fell off. You kind of stayed the same, and then you kind of.
Well, what they did was Zuko. They changed him. They you got to see the hurt. You got to see the betrayal. Everything in him. Where Aang doesn't really get as much as that.
No,
you don't get to see the heartbreak that Zuko, or he doesn't get all that.
No, but there is story development with Aang. He becomes learning to break away from being a kid to realizing his responsibility and everything like that. He keeps his humbleness though. But Azula, fucking, oh my god, oh my god, she's one of the best characters. This next matchup here, really tough.
Especially that beach day episode where she's just being such a bitch.
Oh, I know.
But that party.
But then, like, there's that humbleness where she just like doesn't. She is a bitch, but then she realizes, God, I just really want someone to love. You see the humbleness.
She's doing it to impress her father. That's all that is.
And you learn too that like the reason why she's kind of broken down is because.
She didn't have her mother.
Her mother loved her, but she never had her support and everything like that. And that's heartbreaking as a kid when you don't have both your parents. And that's the same with Zuko. Zuko's mom, and we actually talked about this too. It's really funny. Zuko's mom she loved both the kids, but she was always more drawn to Zuko. Whereas Ozai was more drawn to Azula, but in a negative way because he saw the evil in her and everything like that. Azula never really had that parent to show her true love. And even when she did with the mom, Azula seemed a little more like standoffish against it.
Right.
I think, it really developed that she kind of wished she could go back and not do it because she really fucked it up.
Exactly.
Next matchup, sorry Sokka, love you buddy. Iroh moves on.
Yeah, no doubt.
Iroh moves on.
Sorry, Trusty Boomerang can't help you in this one.
Yep. Oh, this matchup here. This matchup is Katara versus Suki. I'm going to say it right now. You ready for this? I'm
50-50, honestly.
I'm not. Give me Suki.
Funny, because when I first look at it, my first look, Suki. So you know what? I'm going to actually go with my first look.
It's not something, but again, like, Katara has a really good story development and everything like that, but Suki played such a pivotal part in such a minor role that you couldn't help but just love this character and like her whole thing. And Katara had some really cool moments, but she was also kind of a bitch.
Well, yeah. I mean, they all went through that. If you actually look at it, all three of them went through that. Yeah. But we do see it, but yeah, I gotta go with Suki. She's my choice. I mean, I don't know why. I'm just more drawn to pick her than I am Katara. Now,
we might have to go to the wheel for this one.
I think we just have to do the wheel.
My pick is Zuko. First of all, I'm a big Firebender person.
Mine is Toph, actually. I actually like Toph more than Zuko. So this is one of those, where we've said a million
Whoever wins this one. Because you cannot go wrong with this one. Because Toph is a badass character.
They're both great characters.
All right.
It hurts. This hurts, honestly. Whoever loses. I mean...
Zuko moves on.
I don't have a problem with it.
You cannot go wrong. Let's put it this way. I love Toph. Toph is probably the funniest character, the most badass character.
Because you know what? I think honestly, Suki, you're not gonna have any chance next round anyway, in my opinion. But
whoever you would have faced, Suki, you would have lost.
Yeah, and I even think if Katara would have made it here.
It was going to come down. It was going to come down between Toph and Zuko because again, they had the best story arcs. One was just funny as hell.
Yeah,
and a badass, and the other one had such a story development. Next matchup, we have Asami versus Zahir. Zahir.
I love you, Asami. But...
Zahir. Fucking-here. Next matchup. Oh. Yeah. No, my heart. We got to go to the wheel on this one.
I'm going Tenzin.
I'm going Bolin, baby.
God damn.
You have to. Because Tenzin was a great leader, a great mentor, and had such great moments.
Yeah, that's what.
Bolin.
Tenzin had funny moments too.
He did, but it's Bolin.
But it's Tenzin. Motherfucking
Bolin,
Tenzin.
do the thing.
J.K. Simmons, man, come on.
I know, but Bolin.
Oh, fine. Wheel of Faith. Oh.
Bolin moves on.
By his sliver.
Let's put it this way, though. I love Tenzin. But there was such, again, like Zuko, there was such a character development with Bolin that he becomes this joking character to still having his comedy, but learning to be more like, he has gone through a lot. And his character develops so much. Next matchup, ooh.
I'm going Amon. My pick is Amon.
Okay, we gotta go to the wheel. I gotta go Korra. I love her story.
I hate when we get down to this shit.
I gotta admit though, like her journey becoming the Avatar to becoming a true Avatar was such a great story.
Yeah, but my reasoning for Amon is, like I said,
he's whole badass villain.
He's a badass villain. He's so dark. Being able to take bending away from people, just that character development from him was just amazing. That really caught me when this series started. As you rightfully should.
Korra moves on. Amon. You know what? I'll say this though. I'll make this statement right now. If Amon was around for one more season, you would have had my vote 100%. If Amon was around for one more season, you would have had my vote at 100%. Because he was only in that first book. And he was so badass. But I love the story of Korra's development. If Amon was in one more season, at least one more season, like hold on a second. There was a flashback of him. I'm talking like him as the villain for another full season. You would have got my vote 100%. Because he was the most badass. Lin versus Janora. Janora, I'm sorry. It's Lin.
Yeah,
her story.
It's Lin.
Her story. All right, now we're entering the Elite Eight, going to the Final Four. This one's tough because both characters are amazing.
Yep.
But you do not let anyone beat the man, the myth, the legend, Uncle Iroh, baby.
Yep, I'm the same way.
Azula is one of the greatest villains that you'll see in this series and everything like that, but Iroh, you know what Iroh is, ladies and gentlemen? He's Master Splinter. He's Master Oogway. He is your mentor.
He's the uncle that we all want.
He teaches you life. And the fact that he loved Zuko.
And he actually lets you make mistakes. And then it's like, hey, what did you learn from this?
Exactly. And that's why in this next matchup here, we're going to get it for the Final Four. Suki, you're amazing. Love you to death, girl. It's fucking Zuko.
Oh, yeah, right.
All right.
So we have that set up for the
matchup of the hell.
Matchup of firebenders.
Next matchup, we have Zahir versus Bolin.
I'm going Zahir again.
Bolin, you beat Tenzin, but you're not going to beat Zahir. Zahir was the most badass fucking character.
That's me. I'm just like, yeah, he was just more badass. Yes, Bolin, you had the great moments, you had the comedy, but I'm sorry.
But it's like we talked about. And again, like this is a little hypocritical because I said this about Amon, right? But for me personally, what Zahir did beats any villain. Any fucking villain. He is the most badass character. Next matchup, we have Korra and Lin. Gotta go Korra.
Yeah, actually, yeah, it has to be Korra.
It's gotta be Korra. It's funny because, again, you always think like Avatar Airbender is way better than Legend of Korra. Really not. Really fucking not.
Well, as we just showed here, I mean, yeah, Korra's made it literally to the semifinals.
Yep.
Where Aang only made it to the third round.
Yep.
Or excuse me, second round. But yeah, I mean, I enjoyed, like I said many times, I enjoyed Korra more than I did Aang. I liked it way better. Now, Ryan.
I have my pick. I have my pick.
You have your pick.
I already have my pick. It's no fucking question. It's not Zuko. It's Uncle Iroh. Zuko is the Zuko would not have gone where he had been without Iroh.
Exactly.
And all the mistakes Zuko made. And again, I loved book 3 Zuko the most. I loved Iroh from the beginning.
Oh yeah, he captures you right away.
And again, my favorite moment, it shows the true humbleness character, loving character that Iroh is in the finale when Zuko's pleading for forgiveness for betraying him. Iroh doesn't tell him that he was upset about that. He was upset because he felt like he lost him. He felt like he lost his ways. He knew who Zuko was from the beginning. That's such a moment right there.
Exactly.
Such a fucking moment. Big Fat Dubs Nation. You guys don't understand it. Next matchup. Final four. The winner of the Legend of Korra saga. We have Zahir versus Korra. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I have defended her from day one. I cannot defend her now. I got to go Zahir.
I'm the same way.
He is the most badass villain. In a way, too, where he's fighting for balance. But he almost kills her. This motherfucker just got out of prison, became an airbender, learned how to fly. And it's so badass.
I mean, and literally, where you made an episode that had to be taken off TV and only made it onto fucking online or VHS or DVD or whatever it was.
Because you killed her.
Because of how badass he was.
Because how gruesome you killed her.
Yeah.
Zahir wins the Legend of Korra saga. We have now the matchup between the two final characters, the winner of the Avatar Last Airbender saga with Uncle Iroh, General Iroh, pay respect. The rightful Fire Lord should have been, because he was the firstborn son.
Yep, he should have been.
But Ozai fucked him over. Versus Legend of Korra's champion, Zahir. There's no question. I already had my winner from the game.
I actually wish that we could play the song actually right now.
The song that Iroh played?
Yep.
Oh, I don't, because I would fucking cry because it's so fucking touching.
But I think it'd be
appropriate because
yeah.
The winner of the Avatar series greatest character, there is no question. It is Iroh.
Even in Korra, when he comes back in the spirit world, there still captures.
It does.
I'm sorry, this guy is not only through the last Airbender series, but he gets to come back and even provide Korra with knowledge and all that stuff. Or was it Jinora?
Both.
It was both of them.
He helped Korra first because Korra was trapped in there, and then he helped Jinora.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry, this guy on both seasons, even though he had a smaller part in Korra, this guy was awesome. Iroh is awesome.
The shows itself were amazing, but part of what the success was obviously character development. And one of the best characters, and literally we just said it, it's the best character, is Iroh. And again, this guy is supposed to be the general of a fire nation that's supposed to be the bad guys. Yet he never was. Again, we're going to take a little Wreck-It Ralph quotes. Iroh was a bad guy, but he was never a bad guy. He actually, again, he was such... Honestly, fans, I want you to go watch the series. I want you to understand what we're talking about. You have to watch the whole thing and everything like that, but you see his journey and showing everyone that he's not just a mentor to Zuko, but his character was such a pivotal part that not only did he give guidance to Avatar Korra, to Jinora, to Zuko, like we talked about, but he gave them all the motivation and the direction to go fight Fire Lord Ozai, to actually lead them to go do that.
And they actually show some backstory on him. Of why, he didn't become Fire Lord, or what happened to his son. And
he's been through hell and back.
Yeah.
You know, he lost his son in the Battle of Ba Sing Se before, and everything like that. Zuko became, pretty much his adoptive son. And again, he never he always kind of led him in the direction away of like, hey, don't listen to your father. You are a great kid. You are a great warrior. You're gonna be Fire Lord. Like he saw that Zuko can bring balance and was pushing him to it. I don't know. Even he had moments where he was with Toph. Toph loved him. Toph like loved the shit out of him. Iroh deserves this title. I don't think there's anybody on this.
I agree.
I think Zahir was the best matchup for him because again, Zahir is the best character of Korra.
I was hoping to actually get Amon versus Iroh. I mean, it was either going to be Zahir or Amon. I was trying to get for, but yeah, those were my only two that I thought would have been the best matchup. But Iroh was going to win this hands down.
The best matchup for him, to believe it or not, was Zuko. Because Zuko had the best character of all the characters. Korra and Zuko had the best character developments where they changed from one direction to another. There were a lot of characters that kind of changed in certain ways, but the biggest drastic ones were Korra's story and Zuko's story. I think Zuko would have been the only one to legitimately
have a fighting chance
against Iroh. Because, and I agree, Amon probably should have been in the Final Four, but Korra kind of took the cake because, again, her storyline is very similar to Zuko's in their big long run. But if you had Amon versus Zahir, that would have been a fucking wheel spin because you gotta go. But regardless, Zuko was the only person that actually would make me want to pick him over Iroh. But you can't because fucking Iroh's the goddamn man. It's the fucking G, man. God damn it, Iroh. So happy we were watching this. Because he's also, not only is he a great mentor, but as a firebender, fucking amazing.
Oh yeah, he's really mastered his technique and he even like perfected it.
Oh yeah. He's also so humble because
very humble, yes.
All the characters think that he could beat Ozai, and he said no. I think secretly though, he would have kicked his ass. Iroh would have kicked his ass. And I think the reason why is because Iroh also plays very much into the same line as A. He's passive, not a fighter to kill. He's a fighter to win, but not in a gruesome manner.
I think that obviously the death of his son made him realize, this whole war thing needs to stop. Mm-hmm. It needs to stop, and the way that Ozai is going about it, it's not going to. He probably thought the only way to actually get it to stop was actually Zuko.
Well, not only that, though, but Iroh also knew, yes, I could probably defeat my brother, but it has to be Aang because Iroh also was a very peaceful person. He knew for a fact, listen, we're going to have the comet here. We're going to have two firebenders at full power going at it. We're going to destroy the world. Even if Iroh was defending, trying to defend and save the world, he knew for a fact fire is dangerous. Fire is going to commit more harm than good. That's why Aang needed to do it because Aang obviously knew all the elements and everything like that. But he was also a man who understood destiny. And I still think in a battle with Ozai, he kicks the shit out of him.
This is why we said they need to make a fucking Avatar and Korra video game. Just like Street Fighter.
Yes. For the makers of Dragon Ball Z Fighters, I love that game. If you guys could do a game like that for Korra and Avatar Last Airbender, oh my god, you got my money right then and there. You got my money right there.
That's pre-ordered. That's the collector's edition. Yep, I don't care if
I'm buying the ultimate collector's edition. I don't give a shit. I'm buying every character you have. I'm buying every outfit you can do for every goddamn character.
Getting all that DLC right now.
Yep. It is absolutely just like I said, it's an amazing, amazing story. If you guys have not watched it or not watched it in a long time, go back and rewatch it. Like I said, we just restarted it. Fun fact, we did it. We watched the last fight last year on New Year's, and when Aang took his powers away, it was the brand new year. Which now I'm realizing we can never do that again because that led to a really shitty year for me. Sick all I am last year. Thank you guys for tuning in. Let us know what you guys think of this bracket. Let us know who you would have picked to win. If it's not Iroh, I would love to hear your guys' opinion. Why?
Yeah, I actually want to hear both sides. Like, who was your last one on each side?
Yep, definitely. And again, we're gonna have more on the way. We kind of mentioned earlier we're gonna do a DBZ one once you find a DBZ one. We'll have some other ones. We do have some more content on the way. Tune into Mario Monday. We just filmed our next Mario's channel.
Yeah, yep. If you haven't yet, because this should be out here on Tuesday. If you haven't yet, go check out our Mario Mondays. If you haven't yet, depending on how this week goes, I'm going to be very busy this week with a crazy schedule. So we might not be able to get anything really done toward the end of the week. So don't expect anything really much middle of the week.
Yep, and we'll probably try our best for this weekend. It is Super Bowl. It is Super Bowl weekend. Also, too, like I said, I'll be gone from the 15th to the 19th. So we'll try our best to get stuff done and everything like that for you guys. Also, turn into our other brackets. We had some other ones. We had best 90s cartoon. We had best superhero and supervillain. We also had best
DC, Marvel,
and Marvel movies, live action movies. We also had best Disney movie as well.
Yep.
And what's there?
I think that might be it.
Okay. So we had 4 more and everything like that. Also, to check out other stuff we have. We have a couple of shorts we've made of some cooking. Kelly made some chicken strips. I made my famous chile. And tonight's better. Yeah. And other than that, guys, we'll try to get out some more content to go along. We'll try to do a movie review one. We just we just watched on Forever. I know it just came out on Disney Plus, everything like that. Definitely one of the ones we'll do. Oh fuck! I'll be gone for the time to watch Ant-Man Quantumania. Won't be night. Fuck. And we'll do our last football one on Sunday after the Super Bowl. That'll be our final football show of the season. Like I said, we have planned on doing like Kraken and Mariners every 2 weeks or so.
I'm gonna actually try talk to our friend here who's a big hockey fan. I might try to get him on so we can actually do a hockey episode. Since, like you said, Ryan just said after Super Bowl, pretty much the only thing we're gonna get pretty much after Super Bowl is just who's being traded, who free agents are being picked up, who's retiring, all that. Yep. We'll probably just throw that into just like a sports news thing.
Yep. Also, too, like I said, for other sports news, we'll probably do every 2 weeks or so, every 2 weeks to a month long. We'll do a Mariners and Kraken review, and everything like that. So
Kraken season, like I said, is almost over. We got till the either middle or end of April. I can't remember.
And they're breaking franchise records.
Hell yeah!
All right, thank you guys for tuning in. Like as always, like, subscribe, punch that notification bell. And thank you guys for tuning in and everything like that. And Kelly, if you got nothing else, you got the outros.
All right, sounds good, guys. Thank you all very much for coming out. And you know how we do it around here, so we are going to say it: a kame, a hame, send them home to mommy. Thank you guys very much.